welcome back to art class. Today we're going to wrap up our 3D cube design. We should have something that looks very similar to this. Yours is most likely in pencil, remember, because I did this in Sharpie just so you could see it. The one thing I did not mention last week that we do need to add is there's actually 2 lines that need to be added right here. Because it would be as if the design continued on off the page. So I'm going to do it in pencil first, and I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to eyeball it. It just needs to be straight up, like this. It's like as if the cubes were just going right off the page. And then I'm going to Sharpie it so at least it matches here. So, there we go. Other than that, you really shouldn't need a pencil for anything, so I'm just going to put that off to the side. You may want an eraser just in case you need to get rid of some lettering that might be showing through. Today you're going to need colored pencils. You could also do this in paint. I don't recommend doing this with watercolors because it is a bit difficult to do with watercolors, but if you had some other kind of paint, you could possibly do this in it. But colored pencils are the way I'm going to describe it. Now just thinking about it, we are going to need a pencil because we're going to need to mark something. This is my first cube, okay? There are 3 sections to it, okay? So I need to mark what they're going to be because this will be a colored cube, let's say blue. This would be a blue cube. This one might be a green cube. This one over here that's going off the page might be a red cube. It doesn't really matter what color it is. What does matter is we're going to need to label light, medium, and dark. So over here, light, I'm going to make it darker so you can see it. And this one is going to be dark. So there's light, dark, and the top is a medium. Okay. And then the next cube is actually done exactly the same way. So that's light, medium, oh, excuse me, this should be dark. Okay. So this one here, the light is off page, so this is dark and this is still medium. And then I can go down to these cubes here and they're gonna be exactly the same thing, same order. Light, and this is a medium here. Down here, these will actually be mediums. Over here at the top, this section would be L, and then D, L, D, and this last one in this corner would be an L. Okay. Next, now that leaves me ready for actual coloring. So I can pick pretty much any color. I kind of would like you to avoid yellow and white. White for sure, because it's white on white paper, but yellow is kind of difficult. If you want to try it on the back of your paper and you are sure that you can get it to work, then you can do yellow, but I think you should probably try it out first on the back before you go and do it. So let me give you an example of what we're doing. I'm going to pick violet. So the violet's going to be the first one I'm going to do. So first thing I do is, now that I know what section I'm working on, I can erase the letter just so it doesn't show up through the colored pencil. Just got to remember that that is light. And remember, as a 6th grader, our coloring direction does matter, so I am going to color all in one direction. So I'm going to actually turn my paper a little bit to make it easier. And I'm going to color as lightly as I can, holding the colored pencil back towards the back of the pencil, not like we normally do. Hold it further back. I know that feels awkward for many people, but it is a very helpful way of making sure you can't color very dark. You can still outline a little bit. Just gotta be very careful with it. Okay, then I have my medium. Now with mediums, you can start out light. I do, because I wanted to get just a base coat of my color on there, and I forgot to erase my M, so I better go back and do that. So right now my light and my medium look about the same, but I'll adjust that in a minute. Okay, next I'm going to go in and get a good second coating here. There needs to be a clear difference between these two. And then we have our dark. Notice right now those are pretty close, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a darker second layer. So you got light, medium, dark. Then you go on to your next box. And you're gonna do the exact same thing for each of these boxes. So this part is not honestly very difficult. It is a little time consuming because you have to go in and do things slowly and neatly. What I'm gonna do is I'll finish this up. I'm just gonna fast forward it until I get close to the end. So mine is completed. I obviously use different colors for each one. Some people may want to actually use a pattern. So maybe they do purple, red, purple, and then another level might be orange, black, orange, and then they just kind of repeat. If you notice what I did here at the bottom is I tied the bottom one to the one that would be at the top so that they kind of matched that way. When you're all the way done, you may, if you want, use a Sharpie marker to outline. But if you're gonna do that, grab a ruler to make sure you're tracing nice and straight with that. If your coloring's really good, you may not need the Sharpie marker at all. Okay? Then once everything's completed, snap a photo like we have in the past, upload it to the correct assignment, and I will see you next week.